Welcome back, guys. So this is part two of creating two virtual boxes using Ubuntu server and running the code in them in parallel. So once we cloned the master node, we created the slave node. I renamed them. In the previous video, they were called master and slave n, but it does not matter. So let's start them both. So now on the slave node, we have to change the IP. You can just press the upwards arrow and you should be able to find the sudo nano etc net plan. Enter the password and here we should just remove the 0 and add 1. Sure. Yes. So now I have to do the sudo net plan generate and sudo net plan apply. Now let's check fconfig. Okay, great. So on the second port, you can see that the IP address is now 192.168.100.101. So now we should ping the master node using the slave node. So ping 192.168.100.100, which is the IP address of the master node. Okay, now that it's pinged, we open the master node and we SSH the IP address of the slave node. Just press yes, enter the password. Alright, great. Okay, so it worked. Now let's exit. The ping at the SSH worked, but we had to enter the password. So we need to configure it in a way that when we SSH and ping, we do not have to enter the password, so the code should run with no problems. Now let's exit. Now we should enter the following code in the master node, sudo ssh-keygen /t rsa. Now enter the password. Right. So now just press enter. We do not want to add anything. No passphrase. Enter. Oh, 1 sec. Okay, so I just pressed space in the previous one. So just press enter without any spaces or anything because we do not want to overwrite or add any passphrase. Okay, now let's check the SSH. Okay, now we should run this command. By the way, all the commands are down in the description. Those are not all the commands, but those are the commands for this video. Each video I'm going to be posting the commands down in the description for each one. So just run the following code: ssh-keygen -3rsa. So now just press enter and enter. All right. So now let's check the file. Okay, now let's do ssh-copy-id -i and the following location .ssh/id_rsa.public, which is pub. Now we enter the IP address of the slave node, which ends with the 101. Now let's enter the password for the slave node, which is the same password as the master node that we created because we cloned it. So now let's try to SSH with no password 192.168.100.101. Alright, so it worked perfectly with no password. Now let's open the slave node and run the same procedure. So ssh-keygen -d rsa, enter, enter, enter. So now let's ssh-copy-id -i dot ssh id_rsa dot public pub 192.168.100.100, the IP address of the master node. Yes. Let's enter the password. Okay. So now it should work perfectly. Now let's try to SSH the master node with no password. Okay, it worked. Okay, now let's exit and let's create a shared folder between both servers. Okay, so let's install kernel, sudo apt-get install nfs-kernel-server. Yes. So now let's create a directory, sudo okay, now let's edit it using the following command. Okay, now let's edit it using sudo nano. Okay, so now let's create the folder. It's called shared, and let's give it the following permissions: read, write, sync, no root, no sub tree check. Okay, now let's exit it and save. Okay, now do exportfs/a sudo service nfs-kernel-server restart. Now, if you want to add a file, you just type the following code. For example, anything. For example, a txt file or anything. This is the name of the file that goes here, where I'm typing test, sorry. And you just enter it and type in whatever you want. Okay, so now you open the master node, you type in the following command: sudo apt-get install nfs-common, and enter the password. Okay, now you should run the following commands: sudo mkdir shared. Okay, now let's sudo mount. Oh wait, sudo apt-get. I made a mistake, so I restarted the. But don't worry, I edited it out, so very good. So sudo, let's just try to check if the file is already created. Okay, great. Sudo mount -nfs 192.168.100.101 shared to shared. Okay, on the slave node, let's create a file so we can check if it is connected. Install nfs, I'm sorry, sudo nano shared and test. Just type in anything, just enter and type in anything and save it. I've already done it. Now let's check if it's connected. Shared. Okay, so it's connected. So we have the same file in common, which we created in the slave node, and it appears in the master node. And I entered the following text in the test.txt file. Let's check it out. So this is the content of the test file, which is hello, this is a test. Alright, so this is part 2 of the tutorial. I hope it helped you guys. I'm going to upload part 3. All the commands are going to be found in the description. Thanks for watching.